So my first part-time job was at MGM Studios in Orlando, Florida. They call it Hollywood Studios now, but to me, it's always going to be MGM. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been to Disney, and no matter what park you go to, there's always going to be certain types of things going on behind the scenes that none of you guys are aware of. But there's layers and categories that divide all the Disney employees. You have the people that have worked there for 15 years, and they have their little pen, and they've met their boyfriend or girlfriend there, and they're getting married on property, and it's a whole Disney-themed wedding. Yeah, you got those people there. You got the people that take their job too seriously. Now you have the costume and the non-costume. You got the non-costume people, they're smiling all the time, they're just a little bit awkward to be around. And then you have the costume people who believe they are those Disney characters. Kids are sitting on a bench somewhere, you know, drinking a soda, and they'll run up and slap the drink out of the kids' hands like, "Kids, quick, come on! I just stole this loaf of bread from the marketplace because I'm poor. And guess what? You're poor too. Sultan's guards are coming. Let's run. Let's sing a song while we run. Gotta keep one jump ahead of the lawmen." I never had a problem working with those people. Okay? Then you got the people like me who would show up to work on time, clock in, do their job, clock out, not cause any problems. And I love working with people like me because I'm awesome. Now the people I didn't like working with, the snitches. And Disney snitches are the worst. Their sole objective when they come to work is to pretty much just rat and snitch on everybody else. They think they're like spies. In reality, they're coming to work and they're jumping into their 1984 Honda Civic, but in their mind, they're in an Aston Martin cruising in an MI6, like they're a 00 agent and they work for British Secret Intelligence. There was one day I went into work and they put me outside of my ride and I was not in the best of moods to be all smiley. And in the corner of my eye, I see the other greeter standing there and he's just there tapping his foot. You know, he's staring at me with his hands on his hips like, oh. He thinks he's all slick. I see him go over to the phone. 2 minutes later, a manager shows up. Anyways, I got reprimanded that day and I'm like, dude, you're 38. Why are you ratting on some 16-year-old? Like really, man, come on. But oh, don't get me started on the managers over there, okay? I can't talk for other Disney parks, but the managers at MGM in my section, oh, wow. Okay, so we had 5 managers, and they would rotate every week, and 4 out of those 5 managers hated my guts. One of them was black, and you'd figured the one black guy would be the one that liked me. No. The black guy hated me the most. See, you can't give some black people power. We're your best friend until you hand us that clipboard. And then as soon as we get that clipboard, all of a sudden we think in our own minds we're Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, and we rule over all of Third Earth and Thundera. Like, you can't give some black people that clipboard. Now, the managers didn't start off harassing me. Like, this happened about 6 months in, and everything was magical at first. Like, at orientation, that was probably the best orientation I've ever had for any of my jobs ever. Like, they group all the new people up, they let you skip the lines, and we all go on rides together, you play team building games with your whole group, and it's like they seal the deal with free food. One thing I will say, Disney has the best employee food anywhere. It's pretty much the same thing they feed the guests, but it's like 70% off. And I can't speak for anybody else, but if you ever want me to do something, doesn't matter how crazy it is, take me out and give me free food. If that orientation lady would have sat down next, I probably shouldn't even say this on this video, but anyways, if that orientation lady would have sat down next to me and leaned over and whispered like all quiet, like, "Adonde, we're glad you're having a good time. Welcome to the team, but we need you to kidnap the Prime Minister of Australia's daughter tonight." I would have looked up at her like, "Yo, get me on a plane now. Forget Inception and we have to go 4 layers deep and plant a little idea of seed like a parasite." No. If you want me to do anything, bump all that. Just like take me to P.F. Chang's and buy me like $200 worth of food. Disney knows what they're doing, but they kind of brainwash their employees, and it's not a natural thing. I mean, to smile for 8 hours a day, every day, and listen to that same every single day, your eye starts to twitch. And you start to like tick, like you get these weird little ticks. There's gonna be some side effects. Same way there's side effects with Viagra, you know, like if your excitement lasts for more than 14 days, please consult a physician. See, those kind of side effects, like they warn you about. But at Disney, they never warn you about the side effects. Disney employees, they snap. And you never see the ones that snap because it's always when you go to lunch break, you raise your hand to clock out, and then something psychologically fires in your mind. And you just turn into a zombie and you just keep walking to the parking lot and just jump in their car and just go. You should never come back. I snapped. And you just become self-aware, you know, you want to stop working, but you just figure, So what do? I start showing up late on purpose. First it was 5 minutes, then it was 10 minutes, then I bumped it up to 30 minutes, and nobody would notice. I had to step it up a little bit. So what do I do next? I start stealing. And I didn't want to steal anything too crazy, like I didn't want to get in any serious trouble. So what do I steal? Okay? First I started stealing pencils. I'm Disney brainwashed, you know what I'm saying? So like stealing pencils is a big deal. And obviously nobody noticed. So what do I start stealing? In front of the Indiana Jones show, we have the magnetic clipboard that we post the times. Yeah, no more 8:30 shows. I stole all the 8:30 show magnets. I don't know what came over me. I was just standing there, I was like, boom, you're coming with me. Thug life, baby. Okay, get on my level. And then one night, you know, my shift is over, I'm about to go home, and then some random manager from a completely other section of the park comes up to me, he's like, hey, you, hey, kid, what's your name tag say? Adamantium, come with me. I'm walking with this guy, I'm like, what's up, man, I'm about to go home. He's like, no, you're not going home. We need you. All right, a company just rented out the parks, and they only rented out half the park. So you see over there by Star Wars, where there's no lights and it's pitch black and there's a bunch of roaches scattering around and Lord knows what over there? We need you to stand there for about 3 hours. And I'm looking at this guy like, you're kidding, right? I gotta go home, man. I got school tomorrow. He's like, well, look, buddy, I'm sorry. Okay, we all got things to do tomorrow, but you gotta stand over there. In case any guests get lost, we need you to stand over there in the darkness, and if they walk over to you, redirect them back over to civilization where all the partying is, okay? We're gonna all be over here, you stand right over there. I'm like, okay, well, how long do I have to stand over there? Maybe a few hours, I'll come and let you know. I'm over there standing, and the longer I stand there, the more heated I get. This guy's talking to me like I'm he's talking to me like I'm an animal? What do you think I am? Why am I the only person standing over here? I don't see anybody else. I quit, I'm done, I'm out of here, peace. I'm walking, I'm done. That's it, I don't care what happens, I am done. I hope that guy sees me walking out. And as I'm about to get to wardrobe to clock out, I look down the street and all I see are Disney chefs and the entire road is full of just free Disney food. Chefs are tossing pancakes in the air in slow motion. You got chefs on the grill. Free food galore, and that comes as one of the packages. Like you can rent out the park and the entire park is catered. I gotta get some of this food. But it's like all rich old people around. Like I can't blend in right now. You know, I assess the situation and I realize, okay, one, I'm rehiring myself. Two, I gotta find out what the deal is with all this. So next day I come into work and I pull aside one of the employees that have been there for like 3 years and I'm like, yeah, people can rent out the parks? She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, crazy question, I know. So they always have free food like that? Or how does that work? Like, yeah, they always get free food. Okay. Crazy question. I mean, what if an employee like got caught sneaking in and trying to eat some of the free food? I know that's crazy, right? And she looked at me and she was like, termination on the spot. Okay, that's how I'm going out. I'm going out in an orchestra of bacon, sausage, and eggs. So about a month later, another group rents out the park. So now I'm just sizing everybody up. I'm like, no, still, I can't blend in with you guys. But 2 months after that, a high school rents out the entire park. And we only have 2 shows at Indiana Jones that night. So I'm telling myself, this is it. This is it. We do our 2 shows, and the instant that second show ends, I'm like, pew! Like I ninja. Like I'm hopping from rooftops on the Disney rides to get to wardrobe. I change, and now my new mission is how do I get back wearing civilian clothing without any security seeing you? I spent too many hours playing Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima, do not fail me now, okay? I'm leaning up against walls. I'm in bushes. I have the little cardboard box that I'm creeping around in. You know, in the security wall. You ain't gonna hear that. I make it back out there. I grab a plate and it's like hamburgers, chicken, pasta. I'm eating French toast for no reason. They have seafood, steak, ribs, Pillsbury Doughboy is like doing cartwheels in the background like hee 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 hee. They have fish, they have everything. They have gummy berry juice. You know from the cartoon, the potion that they drink, they have the real gummy berry juice there. I ate so much food. Oh my gosh. I showed them. My kids might be obese because of some of the stuff that I did that night. And then I realized, like, crap, I don't want to be the one kid that's running around by himself eating all this food, so I gotta blend in. So I look around and I find these group of kids, and I just kind of chameleon my way into their little clique. Next thing you know, me and my new BFFs, we're going on all the rides together. It was one of the best nights of my life. They never caught me. They never found out about it. Yeah, Disney, I got a confession. I quit about a few months later, so I don't work for Disney anymore. But I will say, I know it sounds bad, but working for Disney was amazing, awesome experience. And I tell you guys all of that to get to this. If you guys know anybody that looks even remotely like me, this is what I look like. If you know anybody that looks even remotely like me, that lives maybe in the LA or Orlando area and works at Disney and has an ID that's valid, that looks like me, that I can use to get back onto Disney property, yeah, please send this video to them. As a matter of fact, if you know anybody that works at Disney, because they might know, actually, you know what? Just put this up on your Facebook wall, send it out to everybody, tweet it, because somebody that you know knows somebody that works at Disney that knows somebody that looks like me. And they need to see this video. So, help your boy Swoozie out, okay? Because with a valid ID, I can get back on the property next time a high school or college rents out the park. Here's my Facebook. Here's my Twitter. Here's my MySpace. I even got a Tumblr. Here's all this stuff, okay guys? If you know somebody that looks like me, contact me immediately. It's about them chicken quesadillas right now, and you have not lived until you've tried Disney's seasoned French fries. True story. Okay, I'm done. Okay, for anybody that's new here, this is how the confessions videos work. I used to work at Disney. I air a little bit of Disney's dirty laundry, and then I air a little bit of my dirty laundry. Now, when I worked for the Mouse, it became blatantly obvious to me that they were brainwashing the employees. Let me tell you how I figured this out. I took my family to Disney one time. We were on the monorail. There was a little girl standing by the door, and I kind of twitched and put my hand out, and I was like, "Madam, please stand clear of the door. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas." My mom looked at me and she was like, "You're failing high school Spanish, but you just fluently told that little girl to get away from the door and sit down." I don't know what you're talking about. I just blacked out. What did I say? That was the second time I ever rode the monorail. Tell me how I knew that. They're brainwashing us. Now, if Disney brainwashes their employees, just imagine for a second what they might do to the people that bring money into the parks. Think about it. From the time you drive over that invisible line and you're on Disney's property, you see over 100 subliminal Mickeys on an average trip to the park. And I would sit back and wonder what it was like for the first wave of cast members, like back in the 50s and 60s, like that first cast member that realized that something was up. Probably went to his manager like, is it just me, or is Mickey's face in a lot of places around here that it shouldn't be? Well, golly, son, what do you mean? Is everything okay? No, it's just weird because I'll work a regular shift here and then I'll clock out and go home, and every time I close my eyes, I see Mickey's face. Gee willikers, well, I better look into this right away. Give me 1 second.
He knows. Send in the cleaner.
I'm just telling y'all, watch out for the subliminal Mickeys. Do they call them hidden Mickeys now because it sounds less brainwashy? You know, the general public started finding out about this, so they decided to make it like a game, like,
Hey everybody, go see how many hidden Mickeys you can find.
The kids run off like,
Yeah, let's get Mickey tattoos on our forehead.
Oh, and before I forget, last Disney Confessions, I told you guys how amazing the Disney food was. Disney has turned me into a liar now because I went back there 2 months ago, and the food quality has gone way down. And for whatever reason, they doubled the price. You know you got a problem when me and all my black friends come to the parks and we won't even eat your chicken. I mean, that's code red. Okay, moving on. Attention would-be troublemakers that go into Disney, don't go up in there trying to be all cute. Let me tell you why. A lot of you don't know this, but Disney has secret service. I came into work one day, I'm walking up to greeter spot, and this guy in t-shirt and jeans comes up and he's like, "Which way did they go?" Girl was like,
That away.
"Pshong!" Took off. I go up to her and I'm like, what the heck was that all about?
Some punk kids just stole from one of the vendors.
And who was that guy that just came up to you?
Disney Secret Service.
What?
Disney has special security that dresses up like guests, and they blend in. Don't ever tell anybody, okay?
Okay, I won't. And see, that info changed a lot for me because this was the weekend right after I stole all the 8:30 shows. This cancels out pretty much 90% of all my other devious plots that I had in motion. And the managers, every time I came in for a shift, were still going out of their way to make my job as painful as possible. You know, I actually tried to transfer to Tower of Terror because that was my favorite ride at the time. I get to Tower of Terror, there's a 10-year wait to transfer over there. What I found out was at the time, that was the only Disney ride on any Disney property that you didn't have to smile. You could show up looking all depressed like you hate life, and it worked because it themed with the overall ride. And everybody thinks that you're just in character. People from Disneyland Tokyo were trying to get up into that ride. And to be completely honest, I loved working at Indiana Jones, so I figured if I can't get in a Tower of Terror, I'm just gonna stick it out here. But the managers would just harass me daily. It got so bad, y'all, that I had to start taking my breaks in other people's break rooms. And something I learned really quick is Disney spoils the crap out of their character performers. In my break room, we got a rinky-dink TV from 1988, a VCR, and that's it. I walk into one of these character break rooms, they got a flat screen, snack bar, Guitar Hero. A lot of you guests will never know this because you never see behind the curtain, and honestly, you know what? I'm okay with that. It's just these managers. One day, Ron humiliated me so bad in front of the entire staff, and obviously, I can't do nothing to him, he's my manager. So you know who I took it out on? The guests. So I'm at Indiana Jones, show started. We had two main rules at Epic. Don't let anybody sit in the aisles on the stairs, and don't let anybody in through the exits once the show starts. That's it. I'm posted at the second exit. This family walks up to me and the dad goes,
Yes, me and my family were visiting from England, and if it's not too much trouble, sir, could we just sit right over there on that empty bench, please?
Sorry, man. Once the show starts, can't let anybody in.
We've only missed 10 minutes, so we visited the other parks, and the bus just took so terribly long. We leave for the airport in about 40 minutes. If we could just sit right over there on that bench, sir, please.
Sorry, man. Can't let anybody in through the exit once the show starts.
Sir, but we're from England.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, please, I've spent all of my money on this trip. Once we get back home in England, I have to leave my family and work on an oil rig for 6 months, sir, because we have no more money.
For 6 months?
Yes, sir, please.
No.
Please, please, let me and my family in. We're from England.
No.
Please, sir. Sir, we just want to see Indy. Please, my children love Indy, sir. Please. You see that rock over there, sir? We'll even sit on the rock. Look at the sharp edges, sir. We probably cut ourselves and bleed to death on it. We don't care. Just please. Please. Please.
Let me think about it. No.
Thank you, sir. Good day.
And he turned and he started walking away with his family. I was like, Adonde, don't look. Ice cold. All right, you're just doing your job. I did take a glance over my shoulder. They didn't look happy. Fast forward 2 years, I get a job as a lifeguard working at a Hard Rock Hotel, and I'm sitting up by the pool watching the water. Boom, it just hits me. It's like, dude, you ruined their vacation. That little boy was crying as he walked away. You know what? From this day on, I'm gonna go out of my way and strive to be the best employee that I can possibly be. I'm not gonna get in competition with any of my coworkers. I'm just gonna try to outdo myself. Would you guys believe that it got to the point to where I was walking out of my job with $150 cash in my pocket from tips? That's unheard of as a lifeguard. I don't care if you're retail, hospitality, cast member, non-cast member. I'm gonna challenge you to be the best, whatever it is that you're doing. When you guys develop really good work ethics, you can apply that stuff to other parts of your life, and trust me, it'll open up a whole new world with new fantastic points of view. Think about your favorite place you've ever worked. For me, still Disney. And I don't know if it was my love for Disney or if I just love to get out the house. If you've ever had overprotective parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I first got my car, my mom was calling me every 2.5 seconds.
Where are you? I just looked in your room. And you're not here.
Mom, it's 9 in the morning. I'm at school. And every time you leave the house, you feel like you're Michael Scofield for a few hours, breaking out of jail. So I never talked about this in my other Disney videos, but I actually remember the day I went in to apply. You start with a phone interview, and if you do good on the phone interview, they bring you in for the hard stuff, the personality test. I had a friend, William, who worked custodial at Magic Kingdom, so he helped coach me on how to take the test. All I know is I wanted to work with something in food, because all I remembered from every time I've ever went to Disney ever was how amazing the food smelled. And I also very clearly remember my parents never buying me food ever at Disney. We're at Disney for 8 hours and I'm like,
Dad, I'm hungry. Please.
the food is too expensive here. When we'd walk past restaurants, I had to use every ounce of willpower not to crawl over to other families and be like,
Are you guys done with that chicken?
so I just assumed if I worked in food and beverage, I'm gonna get free food. So I know it sounds a little crazy, but my goal was to be that guy at that kiosk selling the Mickey Mouse ice cream bars. So I go in, I smash that personality test. Congratulations, you're hired. Which park do you want to work at? Studios. Okay, well, here are all the available positions at Studios. Okay, so if you select food and beverage, you'll be handling money, and you gotta take a math test. I get this math test. I haven't seen questions this easy since the 4th grade. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. I give it back to her. You failed. Do you want to pick maybe another position? I know that if y'all took a basic math test that you know you passed and you failed, you'd feel some type of way too. Instantly kicked into thug mode. Talk to me nice, or don't talk at all. I stay hugging the block. Lady, is you disrespecting my gangster right now? Acts about me. Man, give me that test. In my head, that's how I sounded, but maybe in reality it came out something like, oh no, that is not Oakley Dokley. May I retake it, please? Take the test again, give it back to her. You failed. You sure you don't want to do, I don't know, anything else? So I picked attractions, and that's how I ended up working at the Indiana Jones show. Something else that happens whenever I go to the park with my friends, a lot of people stop me and they tell me they applied for Disney because they saw the other videos. I'm gonna warn you right now, you gonna stand a lot. This is how they sneakily prepare you for this at orientation. They just say stuff like, while you're at work, don't lean. Here's the thing, I'm a gamer, and the standing position is my enemy. You remember in Lion King when Simba ran away and he was laying there in the desert about to die? That was me 10 minutes after I clocked in on my first day. I'm laying there, my lips are all chapped. Water. Also, smiling all the time at Disney as an employee is in the job description. I would do that. However, smiling when nobody's around, I'm not gonna do that. When people come around the corner and they're walking by, I'm gonna smile like, hey, hi, how you doing? Have a nice day. That's part of my job description. But when there's nobody around and it's me and you at greeter spot, I'm not gonna sit here like, I'm so happy. If somebody from my hood came to the park and saw me from a distance smiling for no reason, my hood card would get invalidated instantly. A lot of y'all don't know this, and I probably shouldn't reveal this in the video, but at this point it's whatever. We have secret black people meetings. Like when Nick Cannon wore that leopard outfit to, I don't know, some MTV award show. My parents woke me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Adane, wake up! Emergency meeting right now! We're all here on Skype with the West Coast chapter, like they're trying to figure out what to do with this dude. And we all voted to take his black card and put him on a 30-day probation. This is a real thing. I'm not making this up. I can't be out here smiling for no reason. Full stop. I had a great experience working with the company. However, I feel like with my managers and my coworkers, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of situations that could have been handled differently. No tea, no shade. I was the perfect Disney cast member when I first got hired, but there's a lot of things that happened that kind of just pushed me to the dark side. Karens, and I don't mean guests and people coming into the park, I mean my coworkers. The first tiff I ran into at work was the second weekend after I got hired. But I do remember at training, the guy that trained me, his name was John. John said, blah, 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 stairs is all I remember. And I don't know how many of y'all know this, but every single Indiana Jones show sells out. His family comes up to me. Sir, we have nowhere to sit. May we just sit right here on the floor? Yeah, why not? Sure, you can sit right there. I put the family on the stairs, go to break, 15 minutes later, come back. So I'm chilling at greeter. Sarah walks up to me.
Okay, that's crazy. I caught this family sitting on the stairs. And they told me that you told them that they could sit on the stairs.
This grown woman really just brought an audience to disrespect my gangster right now? My inner gangster popped off. Yo, talk to me nice, or don't talk at all. I'll put you on citizen, right now. In reality, what I most likely said was, yeah, I let him sit on the stairs. Wow. Who said that you could do that? John told me I could do it. Oh, John told you this? Well, let's go talk to him. Sarah takes me and herself out of rotation, walk all the way over to Star Tours.
Where's John? Is John over in this section?
No. We leave Star Tours and she's going to like every attraction. She's over here like,
No sleep, Star Tours, Toy Story Mania, tram, another tram, plane, Tokyo Disney,
no sleep. We finally find John in another section of the park.
Tell John what you just told me.
We can let people sit on the stairs? No, we can't. No, I'd never told you that. John was looking at us like, why are y'all even here? You see what I mean? These are the kind of people I had to work with at my attraction every single day. But let me tell y'all who the real stars of Disney are. The guests. Y'all need Jesus. Do y'all know that there are guests out there who their life mission is to end up at Disney jail? I'm being dead serious. Google, look it up. How funny would it be if Disney jail was like a speakeasy private club, you know? There's a guy next to a soda machine, right? When you walk up to the guy, he's gonna be like, what's the password? Misa, Mosca, Mickey Mouse. You go behind the soda machine, you walk down a tunnel, you jump on a slide and you go to a bottom floor, and you first enter, there's a bunch of Disney characters. It's the Mickey Mouse jailhouse. Come inside, there's fun inside. And Mickey's over there like, everybody say, oh, Toodles! Toodles is over there sharpening his toothbrush, making a shank. That would also explain why we don't see any more Disney villains in the parks, because they're all in Disney jail and doing meet and greets. You got the photo pass guy taking your mugshot, and you know they got a food court down in there. And each prison cell has different themes. How funny would it be if at the end of your jail sentence, like Mickey's there to try to scare you straight, like they put you in that interrogation room? You think this is a game? You think this is a game? They leave, the next family comes in. Get that camera out of my face! You think this is a game? This is how we're gonna do things! Biggie! Mob Deep! Bad boy! I'm a self-made billionaire with a B! You know how much money I made during the pandemic? More than you'll make in your life! Why am I even down here talking to these clowns? Golly! I know this all sounds very outlandish, but this is the kind of stuff I would think about when I'm stuck at greeter spot, not smiling.